Hi guys, this is Catherine Donovan, and I want to continue with the whole fairy tale Rooster Teeth special. Um, I was thinking of naming the villain, maybe I wanted to name him Michael, or Lucish or Lucas. Like from Lucia Rare Groove, but I don't know. We already have a loose. You know what I mean by loose, like Lucy, Heartphilia. I was thinking something like that. And also his background would start off as, okay, he lost his mother after his father came back, and he turned out to be some sort of Dark Lord mage, like wizard, and he's very destructive and heartless, and he kills the main villain's mother right in front of him, and he's really upset, and he decides to take revenge upon his father. But he also has this childhood friend who grew up and became very beautiful, and he developed a crush on her. But the childhood friend that he now has a crush on, he despises the boyfriend that she has because he treats everyone like dirt, including her and also the main villain as well. And then the main villain, he's also bullied a lot and always picked on and always teased, and he's never really left alone for a reason, because people really want to see him squirm, and some people say that you don't have the guts to defeat us, and that just snaps him, because he heard that before, saying, oh, that's what my father once said, because he remembers his father saying, you don't have the guts to defeat me, boy. And then after he killed his mother, then the main villain suddenly snaps, and then all of a sudden his powers awakening, and then he's like, so I do have the ability to take down my enemies. So then he causes destruction to those that have tormented him, and he takes revenge, and he kills his childhood friend's boyfriend right in front of her. And the main villain is trying to profess his love for her, but she refused, saying, how could you? You killed him. I just can't believe this. I can't believe you would do this. And then the main villain is upset and says, all I ever wanted was just someone to care about me. Don't hate me. I don't want to be left alone. But then the girl is like, no, I can't. I just can't. And then she just leaves, and she's really upset and heartbroken to see that her own friend would go and do this. But also she's a little bit guilty, because she should have stick up for her friend. And then the main villain becomes even more darker, and then all of a sudden he comes across this young man who is cursed into being a raven. But then the main villain kind of helps him out and defeats the tormentors that have caged him. And then the main villain speaks to the cursed man, saying, what is your name? And the other guy says, oh, I don't really want to tell you much. Then the main villain uses his powers against him to choke him a bit, and says, save your breath. I saved your life, and this is the thanks I get? I expect more gratitude. Now, I'm going to say this one more time. What is your name? And then the guy gives it to him, And then the main villain releases him and tells him, alright, you will be my right-hand man from this day forward. You will serve to me as a purpose. So then he sends his right-hand man to spy on his own father, and it turns out he killed the mother all because of the glory and respectful as the rightful master of his own guild. And when the main villain hears about this, he's like, oh, he did this to me and my mother so he can be a guild master? Then he rages and he decides to plot his revenge. And yeah. So there you have it. This is the background story. He kind of is pretty similar to Lucia Reargroove, the main villain, but also there's a little bit of difference from this kind of villain from Rave Master, like something more tragic. And yeah, and spoiler alert, like in the end, after he's defeated, he isn't killed, but he is like, after he's defeated, he's like regrets on what he did, and he's like, I just wanted to get revenge on my father, and I just want someone to care about me. I don't want to be alone. I don't want to be alone anymore. And then Sting, out of the kindness of his own heart, comes up to him and says, who says you were even alone in the first place? You got people that care about you. Your best friend. You even have this right-hand man who's been with you the whole time. So you were never really alone to begin with. And when the main villain turns good, actually figures this out, he's like, I can't believe it. I know I can't get the people to forgive me. How will I live now? And then Sting's like, I don't know. Maybe you can actually do good for once. Maybe you can start helping people instead of doing this. And then the villain turned good is like, yeah, I mean, I think maybe I'm gonna have to find my own path. And then he suddenly says goodbye, and then he leaves with his childhood friend following and says, maybe we can do it together. And then he seemed grateful of the idea, and then all of a sudden, like, Lecter couldn't help but ask Sting, you think he's gonna be okay? And Sting's like, yeah, he's gonna be just fine. He'll be just fine. That sort of thing. So I'm thinking, yeah. So yeah, I really hope you guys like this idea. If you don't, then it's okay. I actually came up with this idea. I watched a little bit of Lucia Reargroove on Rave Master. Actually, I think the series is quite amazing, and maybe I can watch more of Rave Master. Because, you know, the same guy that did Fairy Tail did this before even Fairy Tail came into our lives. But anyway, please comment and also give me any good other suggestions on what you think. Not sure if it is gonna make it happen, but people like Rooster Teeth and people also love Fairy Tail. So why not bring the two together? Yeah. Anyway, thank you so much for listening and watching. I'll see you next time.